In America, we don't worship government, we worship God.
If you still don't believe that Donald Trump wants to turn America into a religious theocracy, watch this speech from 8 years ago.
For too long, politicians have tried, oh, have they tried, to centralize authority among the hands of a small few in our nation's capital. I see them all the time. Bureaucrats think they can run over your lives, overrule your values, meddle in your faith, and tell you how to live, what to say, and where to pray.
This speech took place at the Freedom Rally in Washington, D.C. on July 1st, 2017, just a few months after Trump got elected for his first term.
And we know that families and churches, not government officials, know best how to create a strong and loving community. And above all else, we know this. In America, we don't worship government, we worship God.
Let's look up the definition of the word theocracy. A theocracy is a form of government where religious leaders or religious laws have the ultimate authority instead of elected officials or a constitution. In a theocracy, religion and politics are merged and government decisions are often justified by religious doctrine. Sounds really familiar to what he's saying. Look at where he's saying it. Not at a policy briefing or at the White House, but inside a church.
Our religious liberty is enshrined in the very First Amendment in the Bill of Rights.
The First Amendment protects 5 fundamental rights: freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of assembly, freedom of religion, and the right to petition the government. So let's talk about freedom of speech first. The Trump administration is cracking down on people protesting the Israeli government. It has revoked student visas, withheld federal funding from Ivy League schools, tried to get Jimmy Kimmel fired, and banned a person for having memes of J.D. Vance. Now let's talk about freedom of the press. The White House banned the AP simply over the use of the term Gulf of Mexico instead of Gulf of America. Trump has publicly urged the FCC to pull or revoke the licenses of ABC, NBC, and other networks that he claims are biased or unfair in their coverage. He's also pushing to cut the funding of public broadcasters like NPR and PBS because he thinks they're biased. Let's talk about freedom of assembly. I think everyone has seen how the Trump administration handled the protests in Los Angeles. They used flashbangs, rubber bullets, and tear gas to disperse crowds. A reporter from Australia was injured after being deliberately shot by a rubber bullet. He is planning to send the National Guard to cities like Portland and Chicago. Yeah, he doesn't care about the freedom of assembly. Over to freedom of religion. Trump has repeatedly said he wants to make America a Christian nation. He has banned people from 12 Muslim countries. The only religious freedom he cares about is the freedom for the Christian nationalists to impose their beliefs on everyone. The right to petition the government is a fundamental right that allows individuals to express concerns and seek changes without fear of punishment. Trump has issued a memo directing the Justice Department to identify law firms and attorneys who bring meritless or frivolous lawsuits against this administration, and then pursue sanctions, revoke security clearances, or strip them of federal contracts.
The American founders invoked our Creator 4 times in the Declaration of Independence. My administration will always support and defend your religious liberty.
This isn't about freedom or religion. This is about political alliance.
We don't want to see God forced out of the public square, driven out of our schools, or pushed out of our civic life. We want to see prayers before football games. I just signed an executive order following, and this is something that makes me very happy and very proud, following through on my campaign pledge to stop the Johnson Amendment from interfering with your First Amendment rights.
The Johnson Amendment is a provision in the U.S. tax code that prohibits churches from endorsing or opposing political candidates. But we all know the real reason why Trump wants to get rid of it.
As long as I am president, no one is going to stop you from practicing your faith or from preaching what is in your heart. We want to hear him.
So when Trump says, in America, we don't worship government, we worship God, he's talking about religion as a political weapon, a tool to fuse church and state under his movement. And that should scare everyone.